Everybody, we were having a pretty esoteric conversation. We don't have to keep it that way, but we almost did everything in reverse. We were talking very esoterically in the Q&A, and so we can continue with that. But also, if you didn't get your question answered, go ahead and fire away. Unmute yourself or type in.
Yeah, go ahead, Sahaja. Or did we not finish with you, Channing?
I just had a really quick follow-up. Greg, is there,
Fire away.
besides the materialization for what you just shared, do you want me to do a pattern besides the back heart at the stillness segment?
That's pretty solid.
Okay.
The thing that I have you doing with the chords, you could do that after the effect, like after you do the materialization. There is these techniques about like these different ways of like breathing things in, but the chord thing that I told you is probably the easiest thing for you to do right now. Like if we had time, I would say like, do it, but you're right in the middle of like getting ready to meet the person. Just kind of do what you know. Like don't feel that you need to reinvent something. It's still super strong, super powerful. Just do what you know.
Yeah.
Like the thing that I used to like tell this is back in the old days, like in when I used to run a pro bike shop, is like guys would be getting ready to race and they'd overhaul the bike the night before the race. I was like, bad idea. Like your bike's running fine. Don't redo everything, because if there's a problem or you cause some little thing, you're going to be in crisis in the middle of when you should be performing. And here, like right now, do what you know.
Okay.
You don't need to reinvent anything. Really, you're probably solid as it is, and so this will enhance it. But at the same time, don't do things that could throw it off. These we know are solid. You've been doing them for a while. Just stick with that.
Okay, thanks. I really thought that I was going to be, you were going to suggest a planet oil, but cinnamon, melon, totally talk about getting down to the basics, right?
Yeah. Do melon.
All right. I will get down and dirty with melon.
I mean, you could do a planet thing, but like melon is just straight and to the point. Yeah, you've put everything in motion for so long that, like what I was saying, like you don't have to reinvent something or change direction or momentum. You just want to enhance the momentum that's already in place.
Got it.
Like,
got it.
like I would say, just do those things and just be yourself. Like you're not having to correct a problem or fix something or augment what's going on. You're just trying to have a connection with somebody who is coming in, and you're already performing, your team's already performing. Nothing really to fix. You just want to make sure that you connect and the person sees the value, and you just keep that momentum going.
Got it. Thank you. Love you.
Love you too. Take care.
Okay, go ahead, Sahaja, and then Troy.
Hey.
Hi there. Thank you. This is a question. It's almost similar, but it's very different, I think, than Channing. Okay, so I just finally found a place to live after looking for like 10 months. And so,
Oh, wow.
yeah. And I am feeling so disoriented. I mean, I don't have to be out of where I'm at right now. And the place I'm moving to is only 10 minutes away, a drive away, so I can move stuff in slowly. But I'm just finding that I think as I get older, change is just harder and harder. And
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and I am just like, I just keep running back to where I've been living and like doing all the things that are familiar, because this shift, the shift is just like getting me in a way that is worse than any of the changes I've done so far. It's like, I can't say worse. It's just, I'm disoriented and I'm ungrounded, and I sort of settle into the things that are familiar to get grounded, but I'm actually trying to make a transition to a new place. So I was just
Okay.
wondering if there's some
Yeah.
way to
Oh,
work.
okay, so like kind of the same idea, but we're going to do a variation, right? And so the materialization breath for you, like visualize the house, the new place, you being settled, you being super happy in the place and all that. Still use cinnamon or cassia or melon, but the variation is drop the idea of the chords and before you do the materialization breath, and then you're going to inhale vetiver. Like sit and think about the new place and all the same things. You're thinking about the new place and moving and being settled and arranging your new place and all those things. And as you're doing it, just keep inhaling the vetiver. And the idea of what that does is you could say it helps bring things from the ethers, like down, down, down into the basic and into your feet. It's like it takes it from your head and like helps to physicalize it down into your feet. And then you're going to do the materialization breath with the cinnamon, right? And then put your awareness on the back heart, and you can still do a little cinnamon there, or you can just keep your awareness on your back heart, and then just be still, let go. And as you're letting go, again, go back to the vetiver and just like inhale and just keep bringing it down into your feet and bringing it down in your feet and bringing it down into your feet. And then you could do the materialization breath again. And so you could keep repeating the practice, but begin with vetiver and then end with vetiver. Saffron would work too, but this is what I would say about that. Saffron will make you a bit more like right brain, intuitive brain. And I think it needs to be more concretized for you. Like vetiver will just bring you like into your body. It's just like, okay. It's not going to make you feel like I got to get up and do this, but it feels like I can do this, and like in a way that's calm. If you feel you need a little bit of an enhancement, just rub a little bit of the vetiver like on the arms and the legs, especially on the joints.
Mhm.
That will help. Any time you relax the arms and legs, it helps with transmutation of like lower emotions and things. And so I don't think that's the issue for you. I think it's just like up in the ethers and just bringing it down and concretizing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And even with that, if it's like I'm doing that, it's helping a little bit, but I still need a little something. After you've done the materialization breath, go through and continue to inhale the vetiver, and you're not even really putting your attention on anywhere. You just think of the situation and you're just bringing it into form. You're just bringing it down into your feet. And then if you still feel like a little something, after you've done that, then go through and breathe the vetiver on different parts of your spine. Like just like, okay, my neck, the area between my back, between my shoulders, my mid back, my low back.
Okay.
Go back to little spots where you felt like maybe there was a blockage. Just keep breathing it into the spine, and that will help like really like bring it down into the body.
Okay.
I think that's all the thing is for you, is like just bringing it down from the ethers into your feet.
Great. Okay.
The cinnamon will help to integrate it, but it will kind of give you like the strength to deal with it as well. And then the vetiver will bring it down and like kind of ground you a bit. Like grounding's not even the right word. Like physicalize it. Like you're just trying to physicalize it in your body. Mentally you're there, emotionally you're there. It's just physically your body's like, it relaxes the body. Vetiver is referred to as the oil of tranquility. And so it helps you to stay calm, but bring everything in. So vetiver or rouscous, which is just a fancy vetiver. Either one. You don't have to be fancy with this. Just either one, just work it.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.
And then go ahead, Troy, then Mary Ann.
Hey, Troy.
I'm wondering, the person that just spoke,
Mhm.
my life is totally upside down. And I haven't gotten to the point where I actually have found a place. But with the same process, I have this feeling, in spite of my stress, that something good is going to come. And I believe that. But how it's going to come is quite beyond me. And is there a process I might take part in?
Yeah, I would say still the materialization process, but I would say, let me think about what oil. So you're trying to still attract in the proper situation, you could say,
Yes, and stay calm.
and stay calm. Okay, give me just a second with this.
There are multiple limitations. I mean, it's not going to be easy, and I know that, but
In any of your kits or anything, is there patchouli?
pardon?
Do you have patchouli in anything?
No. I'll order it.
Patchouli. Did you do the Raziel class on the weekend?
No,
Do you have acacia?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, we're gonna figure out an oil for you, and you're gonna do the same process with the materialization breath. Where
Okay,
hold the goal in hold the goal in the heart, and visualize like kind of the end result, even if you don't know what where or what the apartment's going to look like. Just visualize yourself in a place where you're comfortable and you're happy,
yeah.
all things. And then
I have been trying to do that, but I can't visualize it.
yeah. So you're going to do that and then put your awareness on the back card. So the variation for you, and I'll have Samantha send you an email with a couple oil choices, and you're going to use it all the way through. You're going to use it through the materialization process, and then your awareness is on the back card. You'll kind of go through and you'll do that. Then from there, you're going to do, and we'll write this out for you.
Oh, good.
It will be the back of your knee, the ankles, and the soles of your feet.
Okay,
And it just helps to like you could say it's like it helps to break you out of the pattern that you're in.
yeah,
You're wanting to do something different, but like you said, like I don't know what it is, I don't know what it's going to look like.
right.
And it's just you just need to be able to disconnect a little bit from what's happening.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll send that to you tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
fine.
Now, well, should I call Samantha regarding the payment? Or do you think,
We'll work that out with the email. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.
And then go ahead, Troy.
Hey, Troy.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
I was just kind of piggybacking on what we've been talking about the last couple of people with the, I was just trying to get clear on you said cinnamon and potentially vetiver when you're
Yeah,
talking
well, it
to-
depends. Like, instead of being like oh, we were doing this in a class, like, there's variations where you can kind of problem solve like specific for a person or an individual. And so like what I was saying for Channing was a little, there's the materialization breath, but the application is slightly different because of their situations being different. And so tell me what's going on and what you're trying to address, and we'll tailor it to you.
this,
You don't have to give me the nitty gritty details, just give me the idea.
okay. Yeah, it's like a relationship situation
Okay.
that's like ongoing and
With-
there's like
with-
a lot
Like
good
with a
there. but-
person, or you're trying to attract a relationship?
Well, it's like the one is just like not falling away, but is not going smoothly, and neither of us can like quite put it out to pasture. And so it's like, I don't know. I've talked to you about this before, and I've tried several things, and it'll like get better and then go back into the old pattern. And so,
So
like,
nothing's kind of resolved it. Like you feel like it starts to move and then it comes back, and then it moves.
yeah.
Comes back. Okay. All right. Let me sit with this for a moment.
And I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No, go for it.
I don't know if it might be helpful. Like new people are showing up, like when we, take time away from each other, new people are showing up that it's like kind of the same type of dynamic or like issue of like just being like sort of in like a limbo state, or like the commitment not being able to be quite resolved.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, I know it's like a life lesson, something I just need to get. But anyway.
Well, I mean, there's like saying it like there's a life lesson, something to get, but like sometimes it's just that we're like at odds with something. It's like what we were talking about before in the last session, where like the idea of like when people would throw out the term like person and the old things, it's not how we think about it now. Like curse just meant like, okay, you're going to be at odds with this and you're going to dance this until you get it figured out. Like that,
Right.
That is kind of like, you could say like conflict or just the situation, like you're like at odds with something. And so I like the idea again of the materialization breath, but I would like to do it a little bit different with you. I'm just let me think this out with what we're going to use. Yeah, you have Idaho Tansy?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You'll
Apparently,
have like any day.
right. It's in the order that's got lost and is being reset.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So, yeah. UPS is like talking about striking, and so we've been having lots of UPS issues the last few days, last week or so.
Yeah,
And
no worries.
yeah. So this is what like it's going to be there here very, very shortly. So this is what I'd like you to do. Idaho Tansy, go front heart, back heart, forehead, back head. Okay. And then just be still for a second. And then you're going to go again, front heart, back heart, forehead, back head. Do it like 3 or 4 times. Now, just to give you a heads up, you're impacting the sympathetic part of the nervous system tied to fight flight. Idaho Tansy, does like physical things, it does things for the kidneys, it does all kinds of things, but one of the things that it's good for is good for the sympathetic nervous system. And if there is some fear components there, it helps to flush that out. And so there might be a little bit of like, "Ugh," like kind of come up. You can just sit with it. Like if there's something not in your awareness, like about the situation, it'll kind of come up and go like, you know what? I'm afraid that this person or people like this are going to do, and then fill in the blank. Like they're going to hurt me, they're going to reject me, they're going to abandon me, they're going to, whatever it is, right? And so there's that component. And then after you've done that like 3 or 4 cycles, you don't even have to visualize that person. You can just go through and do it and then sit and then contemplate. And then you're going to begin the materialization breath. So you'll begin to hold that situation. I would say you're doing this dance with this person. Hold her in the heart. And it's not about her. It's about, she is a representative to this pattern. Like think of it like this. She is the archetype of whatever this dance is. So it's not about like, I'm going to resolve it with her, but like you said, other people associated with this particular pattern are coming in that are new people. So whatever's going on, this is a lesson that's in the process of being learned, right? And so hold her in the heart, or if there's other ones that are coming in, just start holding the pattern or the different people in the heart. And then let's have you use, give me a second on this one. You did the chakra class for the heart?
I think I've taken everything.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, so there's that blend in there, Chash Malim.
Yes.
Okay, so hold that person in the heart, then do the materialization breath, then do the back heart, right? And then like hold it in the back heart for a little bit and then just be still. Then from there, give me one more second here. Go back to the Idaho Tansy and you're doing that pattern in reverse. Back head, forehead, back heart, front heart. So before you do the materialization breath, you're going heart, forehead, back head. That's calming down sympathetic state, right? Then, and you're flushing fears out. Then as you reverse it, you're actually working parasympathetic state. In this state, you'll release like things that are unconscious, like whatever it is, like you'll just start like losing the attachment to whatever it is. And so I would say don't approach this in the sense of like, I'm going to work this out or I'm not going to work this out. You're just going to approach this as like, I'm going to resolve this. Maybe the person's around, maybe not, but I'm going to resolve this pattern, whatever it is. And so Idaho Tansy, first pattern, then do the materialization breath with, what did I say?
Wait, Josh Maline.
Chashmalim, yeah. And then after you're done, then do that pattern in reverse, back head, forehead, back heart, front heart, again with Idaho Tansy. And then you can keep repeating it,
Okay.
See what that does for you.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you that one's pretty hardcore, but I think you can handle it. Like,
Well, if I can handle what's been happening, I should be able to handle this.
yeah, exactly. And like sometimes you just gotta like, this has to be resolved. You know what I mean? Like this has to get better, or and the Idaho Tansy fleshes fear out in different ways. Like if it feels too intense, you could switch to cystis.
Yeah.
So Sisters will get you there. It will be a little softer. It won't be quite as quick. Like, think of Sisters as like doing it like with finesse. And Idaho Tansy is a stick of dynamite where you're just throwing it in and you're going, flare. Like, it sounds like to me that you're in the place where you want the stick of dynamite.
For sure.
Yeah. So try that. Maybe send me an email in a few days and let me know how you're doing. And if for some reason it gets overwhelming, send me an email so we can, work through that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
The sisters before the I know.
Yeah. If you have sisters right now, fire away and do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
do it until the Idaho Tansy arrives. That's
Okay.
actually probably a kinder way of doing it now that I think that out. Like, do it soft for a little while and then do the Idaho Tansy.
Well, but that would all be on like my side of the fence, right? Like she wouldn't notice the difference between which one I'm doing.
Well,
Would she?
so here's the thing, like with the materialization breath, like what you're doing is you're moving energy from your lower centers to your upper centers. So that's component of it, right? And then you're stimulating, you could say, the faculties that attract things from the environment, right? So that's another part. But what that materialization breath does is it stimulates the blue pearl, right? It stimulates the mental permanent seed. So for one, it starts to change how you think and how you perceive something, the repetitive thoughts and things like this. But as your blue pearl changes, the people around you, their blue pearl starts to change as well. I mean, it's the whole premise of what the Buddha did. He sat there and he became light. He had oneness, and just being in his presence started to change that. Here you could say the situation is in darkness, not because it's evil. It's just it's not in your awareness. You're not able to cognitively go, this is what's happening, right? We all have these pieces. You're bringing light into the situation, what starts to shift you. But as you bring the light in for you, you're stimulating the light for her or somebody else that you're attracting into that is a potential, and just everybody in your periphery. Like when you stimulate the blue pearl and bring light in, you're not just affecting you, you're affecting the people in the situation. That's why, like, when we go through and we do healing or prayer work for somebody, and it could be somebody that we don't even know 10,000 miles away. We connect with them, you think about them, you hold them in the heart, you do the blue pearl, or the materialization breath, the blue pearl stimulated. But because you're connected to that person, even through like intention or holding an image of them, whatever it might be, it starts to stimulate their blue pearl, which then breaks down their thought patterns, helps them to bring a light into something that's not in their awareness or in darkness. It helps them to evolve out of the situation. Anytime you bring light in, you're evolving out of something. Light is literally divine intelligence. Like when we're having difficulties and not able to work through something, or we're stagnant in an area, it's the evolutionary process is not engaging in that area. The light is the fuel or the gasoline that will push that through and make something happen. It's not always predictable what will happen, but it will move through. And because it's light, it's tied more to truth than just a series of reactions, because the reactions are still stagnation in that situation. Like, just like you were saying, you take her away and you bring in another actor in the situation, and you put the different person in. It's the same dance, it's just a different actress, right? So here you're wanting to go through, let's just bring light to this situation, let's see what's happening. And so like the old esoteric saying is like, when you bring light into a situation, the drama stops, like the conflict stops, like it just starts evolving. And it's not always like what you think, or I would like this to happen. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I'll say this, like I'm saying this more personally than for you or for anybody else. the best things that came into my life were not the things I chose. It was the things that were like, I got to deal with this. Ugh, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Like struggling with it. And something better came in than what I hoped for. And what I hoped for usually was, I would like this drama to continue, but in a way that is more polite. You know, like I used to laugh with myself. I just want polite drama, like a more classical drama, right? Where, you know, just something where, you know, I know the ending and I know what's going on. It's the same old drama, but it's just, you know, it's my favorite actors and actresses, you know, where when you bring the light into the situation, it literally is like, whatever this is, we're going to evolve out of it. Maybe they get to stay, maybe they don't, you know, but you're basically going to evolve out of the situation. You're going to grow out of that situation by riding the light. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
So like,
Thank you
I
so
would
much.
almost say, don't even be attached to an outcome. You know, certain things like where we're talking about before, where like, okay, we're trying to find a place to live. We're trying to settle in this place. Those you could kind of be attached to the outcome, but even those, there's details where you're like, I'm not sure what that's going to look like. But here, the end result is you want a partner, but that it's any of the players in your periphery right now, maybe not. But the goal is for you to be happy, to feel loved, to bring something in that's like stable and that, like, you know, sustains you or satisfies you, that helps you like kind of grow. Like, you know, you want like a situation that's like an opportunity. And that's the goal, that any of these players are part of that or not, kind of almost in a way doesn't matter. They only get to be there if they fulfill the parameters that's going to be, you know, the end result that you're shooting for. Like that they're going to bring in love, or that they're going to be a good partner. And you know, every time where I was like, oh, why did this happen? I had to let this go. Like looking back, I was like, yeah, I was kind of miserable in that situation. I just wanted like a more polite version of it. Like I just like, don't be so mean, don't be so hurtful, don't be so like, when I should have said, I'm kind of done. Like, well, I just need to walk away. And so looking back, super grateful that I didn't get my way. Oh my God, I'm so grateful I didn't get my way. You know, later after that, when I had that realization, I found a thing. Boy, I'm talking about the Dalai Lama a lot today. I read a thing from the Dalai Lama. He said something to the effect of, one of the truest blessings is not getting what you want. And I was like, yeah, I can validate that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
It's not about her. It's about you having a partner, and it's about you having love in your life. Like, just keep it about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
And go ahead, Cindy.
Hey, Cindy.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
I just want to piggyback on what Troy was saying. Is this a protocol you can do with a relative who's I don't even know how to say it. I mean, basically it's basically my daughter who's like telling me how horrible I am and disowning me in a sense. And then and should you do a protocol like this when I'm already kind of beat up from the whole
Right.
weekend thing? And then I'm thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't do a protocol like this when she's
At first,
until I'm stronger.
at first I would probably do a thing where you know, maybe hold her in the heart and do like like just like hyssop, like just breathe like hyssop and like hold her in the heart and just, you can go like heart and then go to the back heart and then heart and then back heart.
Okay.
And then eventually do a thing where you do that same pattern, but
Yeah.
stick with hyssop, do the materialization, and then do the reverse pattern, right? But this is what I would also say, like, and this one I'd say I speak from like personal experience on this. When you're at like really at odds with somebody and it's not even really something that you have any sort of control. It's like, you know, it sounds
Yeah, I
like a
don't.
situation like you couldn't say the right words, you couldn't do the right action, you couldn't stand back enough. It's like whatever's going on, you couldn't do the right thing, right? You just there's no kind of right answer. And
That's right.
um I've been in that situation, you know, not like yours, but like, you know, that thing where there's just no right thing to do. Like, it's just whatever I do, I'm gonna be blamed. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be looked bad upon, whatever it is. It's just, it is. And so this is what has gotten me through in those situations. Like I do what we just talked about, but I also do this thing where you almost look at it like from the point of view of mm, like the Zulu warriors back in the day. And like before they would go into battle with somebody, you know, they would start singing these songs, right? They would sing these songs, and they'd sing these songs, and they'd sing these songs. They would stand there and they would face the enemy and they would sing these songs. And, you know, if you didn't know the language, it sounds like they're singing battle songs to get ready to go into battle. But what they're doing is before they go into battle, they would basically say, "You're awesome, you're amazing, you're a soul. You know, the divinity in me recognizes and salutes the divinity in you. We are going to fight, right? But I do that recognizing the divinity in you. And I'm not saying that you need to fight this person, but like one of the things that I've done, like based on that kind of lesson, is regardless of how hostile or upset they are, I just like, you can do the invocation version of it, or you can just sit and go, the divinity in me recognizes and salutes the divinity in you. The divinity in me recognizes the supreme being in you. The divinity in me, you know, and just keep doing the
Right.
divinity in me recognizes or salutes or whatever it is, and keep going back and forth and back and forth. And what that does is it kind of does a version of what I was saying with Troy, but here you're just you're identifying more with yourself and your soul rather than her struggle. And I mean, this is a difficulty a lot of times, like with a partner or like a parent-child situation, you know, something that's more than just like, oh, this person at work is a jerk, or, you know, this is, you guys are entwined, like no matter what, right? And so even before you do the materialization thing, like diminish a little bit of the with hyssop, and then just keep the divinity in me recognizes and salutes the good parts in you, like the divinity in me, and just keep doing it back and forth. And at first it feels like, I don't know, but after a while you'll start to have a little bit of a peace with it. And keep in mind that when this is happening, there's an energy bouncing back and forth with you and her. And there's the blue pearl, but there's also, especially when it's a parent child, it's bouncing back and forth. And if you can take and bring in that energy, that's the energy that starts bouncing back. She brings hers, but you are bringing something different. And what's happening now is she brings hers, and then there's the reaction to what she's doing. Now just go, yeah, I know you're upset, but you know what? I'm still, the divinity in me salutes the divinity in you. The divinity in me sees the supreme God in you. whatever it is, just keep going back and forth. I'll have Samantha reach out to you like in a day or two, and let's just see how this goes. But let's try to help calm this down.
Yeah, it was not really what I needed after and thanks for your help this
Yeah.
week too.
My condolences on that
Yeah.
situation.
Thank you.
So we need to jump over to Astara. So we are having great conversations, but I do need to jump over. Join us if you can, if you want. We're going to bless the prayer petitions, but thanks for a great conversation, you guys. And we'll have our thing tomorrow night, and then some of you I see on the weekend. So we'll continue this on the weekend.